Good afternoon, everyone. This is your Sassy Mini, and today we're going to be talking about oven mitts and pot holders. So you can get your oven mitts and your pot holders from just about anywhere, but today I'm working with these particular ones. I'm working with the grilling ones. They're a neoprene style from Johnson Plastics Plus, and then I'm using the linen pot holder and oven mitt from Conde systems. So we're going to be doing these today. First things first, make sure your heat press is at, I have it at 395 for 65. It's still warming up right now, but we've got some prep work that needs to get done to these. So let's head over to the press, see what we have to do. We'll talk about some things and tips and tricks before we get there, and then we'll just keep right on going. All right, so once you get to your heat press, you're going to have a Teflon sheet on here. The Teflon sheet protects that bottom platen, but we need to put some butcher paper on the bottom. Protect your investment because these can get a little bit messy. So first things first, we are going to talk about the two different types of lint roller that you can use on your fabrics. You can use the 3M. It's a velvet lint roller, or you can actually use the regular, what we call sticky lint roller. So this is a brand new one. All right. Now, for my fabrics, I tend to use the velvet lint roller for this, and I go against the grain and with the grain and all of that fun stuff. What it does is it acts like little fingers, and it picks up those little pieces of lint that could be in those fibers. Now, could you use your sticky lint roller? Yes, you can. Absolutely. So you just go in here, and you can't see it on the camera, but there are a little bit of bits on here. So make sure when you're using your velvet lint roll, what it does is it really kind of like pulls against the grain and really lifts any of those loose fibers that could possibly be in there all the way up. Now, we're going to do this to all of them. Let's get this all done. For your neoprene one, for the neoprene, I do like to use the sticky lint roller for this one. I can use the velvet lint roller, and that's absolutely acceptable for that. So we're just going to do this. But again, let me make sure my arrows are going right. I will go in here and make sure all of those little blue fibers are off. Okay? All right, so we're going to set this aside, and we're going to talk about that for a hot second. Now, as this is getting up to temperature, one of the biggest pet peeves you guys have said, this is something that bothers you, is this part right here. All right? And it's hard to see maybe on the camera right now, but this is, and I'll, excuse me, get a little closer. You can see where that just kind of has like a little bit of a divot in here. Here's what I do to kind of combat that divot before I pre-press it. So I do pre-press these items, but I will take it, spread this out, and push it up against the heat press. And I'll hold it there for a good 15 to 20 seconds. What it's going to do is it's going to flatten out that area before I pre-press the entire thing. All right? So if you had seen it before, it was super crinkly. So now I am going to, and crinkly is a word, by the way. I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to hold it. And I'm just going to sit there, and I'm going to press it down. The reason being is, again, you're flattening out that surface where it had been in storage. So when it gets shipped to you, they get kind of all smushed in the bag. All right, so we really want to make sure that that's nice and flat. And it's easier to tell now. This is a nice flat surface, which takes the ink really well at that point. Now, as I go in, I might have to go in and do that again, as I am adjusting for the pressure right now. So we're going to get that set. And sometimes when you're adjusting for pressure, it can cause you to have that wrinkle again. So you just basically want to get it, it's probably too tight. No, let's loosen it still. All right, give it a good pre-press, and then reevaluate your oven mitt just to make sure that that section is where it needs to be. And we have a nice flat oven mitt. Now, before you all get all up in arms, you might end up with a white seam right here where it does connect. It's kind of the nature of the beast, all right? So there's nothing you can really do about it. Because I've already got the heat press set for this one, I want to show you what I did. I have a flag design that I went in and literally resized the flag design for my oven mitt and pot holder. So I took the flag design. You could also do this with any one of my fancy towels that I have. You could take a flag design, a fancy towel, just scale it down. Does it have to be in the shape of the oven mitt? Absolutely not. So we're going to lay it down and we're going to tape it down. Now, you're going to want to sit there, you're going to fuss with it for a little bit, and that is absolutely acceptable. So we're going to go in, add some tape. Now I will go into this section right here and tape it down, just so it has a nice secure spot for it, right? And because we've already pre-pressed the thumb area, I don't have to worry about really pressing down on that really hard or spreading out the thumb so it lays flat, because I already did my due diligence by going in and fixing that thumb piece. All right, now here we go. This is where it needs to be. I'm going to then take some more butcher paper. We're going to lay it over the top. We're protecting the top part of our platen, which is our investment, because let's be honest, I don't want to be cleaning my platen anytime soon. Drop it down and then let it cook. So it's going to cook for about 65 seconds for that. In the meantime, let's talk about these. These are the neoprene style oven mitts that you can get from Johnson Plastics. Let's flip the camera so it's a little bit bigger. Now, what are these? So yes, they have that neoprene front to them, but they have the rubber backing, which is definitely best for grilling, especially because you get a lot of the grease and whatnot, and these protect your hands a little bit better than maybe using your standard oven mitt, especially with the high heat. Now, I'm doing a girly design on this because who said grilling had to be for the boys? All right, so we're going to do a girly design on this. Again, these come from Johnson Plastics. Got about 18 seconds left, and they're a super easy press, very easy press. Again, we're just going to use a rectangle design, nothing fancy around here, and do what we need to do. Okay, just a few more seconds. We'll go over to the press. All right. Now I will end up reusing my top paper because nothing was off-gassing to be crazy, so I can reuse that. But if I ever felt the need that I couldn't, I definitely would get a new piece of butcher paper. So if you see me reuse it, don't come at me. Now, uber gorgeous. Uber gorgeous because naturally it is, right? I needed a new oven mitt. This is why this is being made. Check out that oven mitt. The colors. This is the Subly linen from Conde. I love all of their linen products. How gorgeous is that? Right? It has all the pops of color. It says summer to me. It's absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to go in. We're going to change the pressure. All right? We're going to give this a good pre-press as well. We're going to take that off because that one's going to be how well smoked. We're going to put a new piece of butcher paper down. Now because I cut a big enough piece, I'll be able to fold it and reuse the top. But let's get the pressure correct on here. We've already lint rolled it, so we're good there. Perfect. You learn over time with your heat presses where your pressure is, and that just comes with just knowing your product and knowing your equipment. I could stand in front of a new heat press, and I have, and sometimes I'm not familiar with that. It's like driving a new car, right? You got to get used to the brake pedal, and you got to get used to where the gas and how things work in that new car. The same holds true for a new heat press. You have to learn your equipment. Now, we're going to tape the four corners of this. We've already pre-pressed it, and then we're just going to throw it right back on the press. Okay. Put the butcher paper over it and drop it down. Let's see. So there you go. There's what it looks like on the hand. It was a little hot to put it on there at the beginning. Okay, absolutely stunning. Love, love, love. Okay. We got about 45 more seconds on this. We're going to give it some nice, rich color. So people often ask, can you sub on 100% cotton? Not without extra additives or specialty type items. You cannot just directly sublimate on to 100% cotton. So you can't go to the local 5 and dime type stores, your local box stores, and get just a plain white or linen colored looking items and just think that you're going to be able to press them. You have to make sure that they're 100% polyester. A few more seconds on this, and then I will have a new completed set for my kitchen. Okay. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll make sure I take pictures of these for you guys. All right, as you can see, this is what happens when you have a really good bleed on your item. It's going to off gas, and if someone tells you that you don't need butcher paper to protect your investment, please know that that is not true. If you have a good bleed, it's going to off gas onto whatever is on the bottom, which means it can be left over later on, and you'll see it on a project in the future. Here's what it looks like with the completed set. How stunning is that set? Gorgeous, right? I can't wait to take pictures for you guys to see this. All right, last up, let's fix the pressure. Let's get some more butcher paper. One of the best investments you can get is a roll of butcher paper. You can get them at Costco or Sam's Club. They're the biggest rolls you can get for about 20 bucks at Sam's Club. And get yourself a butcher paper holder. That way it just rips off really nice and you don't have to cut it. And the butcher paper holders also too, by the way, can be mounted on the wall. So we're going to give this a pre-press. Now, with most neoprene, it will swell. So this is why I don't like to do too much with my neoprene, because it does tend to swell a little bit, because that's just how neoprene reacts to heat. It puffs up a little bit. So we're going to let this cool off just a hot second, literally. Cool it down just a little. All right, so again, I did the same thing where I just made a rectangle and made sure that everybody would fit, okay? Again, who said grilling had to be for the boys? We're gonna make a really pretty grilling mat because the girls at my house like to grill, and we need something pretty for our grill. Okay, there you go. Let's add, we got the new butcher paper down. Let's flip this over. Okay, we're going to reuse that top paper. And again, pre-press. Now I've got this when I up the pressure for the neoprene. I loosen the pressure, I should say. And it's now more to a medium to firm versus a squish the heck out of me type of pressure. There are some items where you're going to hear me say, squish the heck out of. What does that mean? It means we're going to tighten it down really, really, really tight, like to where we can't tighten it any further. Then there's firm pressure, and then there's medium to firm, and then there's medium, and then there's light, or what I call also kiss me pressure. Kiss me pressure means it's just very lightly touching the surface of your item. Okay. Just a few more. We got about 20 more seconds on this. So now I'm going to have the completed set for my, whether I'm using stuff for inside the house or I'm out at the grill, I now have a pretty set. So again, you could take oven mitts and pot holders and the grilling pot holders and really use them for both man and woman. It really doesn't matter. You could cater to all walks of life, and that's the beautiful part about what we do. Please keep in mind, it's hot, and neoprene is probably one of those items that it's extremely hot when it comes off for your press, especially because it has that rubber backing. Think of like the mouse pads. All right. So, protecting my other investment, my fingers. Look at how gorgeous that is. Absolutely stunning. It's subbed beautifully. I love that rubber backing for it because, again, it's going to take on the grease from your grill and all of that stuff. But that is absolutely gorgeous. Presses beautifully like neoprene should. And there you go. If you want to know about more Sassy Mini tutorials, head over to my YouTube channel, which I'm live on right now, and on Facebook. You can find all my Sassy tutorials and so much more by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks guys for watching. This was another Sassy Mini brought to you in part by me.